All right, Governor. Welcome back to Erico Blueberry. It's an unassuming Destiny podcast. My name is chillybin.
Oh, it's Meckii in it.
It is Meckii in it. Uh, well, what are we now? Week 2 of Iron Banner. Next part of this episode is coming out. Not our episode. Episode Echoes Destiny. Coming out next week. In a few days now. So mostly what we've got to talk about is your Iron Lord status. But there was a cheeky little developer live stream during the week. They were looking at Act 2 of Echoes. That was pretty much it, right? It was Act 2 of Echoes plus some Solstice stuff.
Yeah.
So let's start with Iron Banner. Because
Hello.
you snuck a little title update in there again.
It's me, your 6-time Iron Lord.
Hell yeah. Cannot stop her.
Got it done before first reset.
Yeah, it was like a couple of days after we recorded the last episode, and then it just like pops up in the server. I was like, oh, you've done it again. The little stealth guild. I love it.
I love that. I just don't tell people when I'm going for titles, and then they just pop up in the server, and people are like, what?
Oh, she's done it again.
Since when?
Yeah.
Meckii with titles?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7th of the 6th, 6th of the 7th is when I guilded it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been like a day after we recorded.
Yeah. So I haven't actually played any Iron Banner this time around, even though I said I would. It's been a rough old week for chillybin. Got sick last weekend. Like maybe the couple of days after we recorded. I uploaded the episode while just like in a haze. It's just a head cold. It was fine. So I had intentions of playing Iron Banner, and then what I did instead was get waist deep in a new Baldur's Gate playthrough. Because that was such.
I keep seeing Baldur's Gate pop up on your Discord profile.
It was like a real comfy thing while I was sick, and then I got deep enough into the playthrough that I had the momentum, so I just kept going. And then I was like, I don't really want to play Iron Banner instead of this right now.
Well, I played Iron Banner and then fired up Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
it's like I've done all my work.
Is it fun, or have you just slammed your head against the wall for this one? Asking as someone who hasn't played this iteration of Iron Banner.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's not any worse.
Okay.
I'm having fun because my strand build is particularly disgusting.
Okay.
At the moment. My rat build. It's pretty nasty. Because I build up momentum and then I get the green like guys. You get 3 of them.
Yep.
They rotate around you, and if someone hits them, they pop off. And
this is like the green shells in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So you got 3 of them just circling. Don't get too close, or you'll eat
one. Just launching little freaks into rooms.
Yeah, you do love little freaks.
Seeing the crit, like the hit markers go up. Yeah, so I was flipping between my void and my strand builds back and forth depending on what I needed to do, because a couple of those daily missions had really specific subclass types that you had to kill with.
Right.
My fucking void build still goes hard in PvP.
Okay.
Old gods, if you can plant old gods in a room, you can mow down an entire team.
Especially if people are trying to capture a point, you can just drop one in there. Oh.
And there's been times where the Devour, the old god vampirism, has kept me alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it gives you health on kill, right? Yeah.
And then I've got the enhanced Devour build. So. But yeah, I had fun. That getting the wins with all the equipment on, and then that took me ages, but that's just because I just got back-to-back really dud teams. Shouldn't say dud teams because it's like they're all blueberries, we're all playing with strangers, but
what are you gonna do?
They just weren't good matchups.
Yeah. Can you still, like, with that the challenge where you have to like equip the armor and whatever, can you still do that by just applying ornaments, or do you have to actually apply the armor?
I didn't test. It says armor
because
in the description,
yeah,
so I didn't.
it always said that, but you could just put Iron Banner ornaments on your armor, and that would count. You didn't have to actually like equip the armor pieces.
Oh, I threw the armor pieces on anyway.
Mm.
Because this season's Iron Banner armor actually looks really nice.
Damn, okay. Maybe I should cram some in before reset. Just get some armor drops.
It's not bad, especially the Warlock. It doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, nice.
Also, I didn't have enough synthweave to unlock.
Oh, yeah. I need to start doing those bounties again. You can only do, what is it, 10 per episode, per character.
I need to as well, because I'm now starting to care about the cosmetics of my builds.
And
I did that thing where I was focused on cosmetics and building really shitty builds because I was more focused on just building absolutely horrific looking builds.
Yeah.
And now my builds are accidentally horrific because I've done that thing where now I'm focusing on stats.
Yeah.
And then also how it benefits my builds.
Yeah.
So I do need to go and start actually unlocking transmogs and stuff because I've got some ugly fucking builds. And it's just entirely utility.
Yeah, I always forget about those.
Except for my rat build.
Yeah, well, those threader bounties, like, there's a couple of them you can just grab and they will complete in the background. Like, you just, like, I think it's like the destination threader. It's just like, I don't know, go to Nessus and kill some shit and it will just, like, fill up. Whereas there's other ones that, like, kind of require you to play a little differently or to do stuff that maybe you're not doing a lot of.
In another server, I posted my rat build that I'm very proud of and then got relentlessly bullied for 15 minutes about spending $14 on a helmet.
Oh, yeah, because you have to get it through silver. I feel like those people don't really know you then if they didn't think bullied. You were going to get that.
I got relentlessly mocked.
See, as soon as I saw it in the store, I was like, oh yeah, Meckie's going to buy this. Like, this is her thing.
I got a rat skull in the basement for free if you want it.
Yeah,
like, just
Can I
absolutely bullying the shit out of me. Yeah, no, IB got it done in 2 days.
Yeah, nice.
The only thing that delayed me was the dailies. I just had to wait for those to reset.
Yeah, true. Okay, so those I won't be able to get done because I just don't think I'm gonna have enough time before reset. Because I'll be out of the house all day tomorrow. Today has been like, I think I've done 2 to 3 hours of driving just today, like driving across town to a tattoo consultation and then like 2 different house inspections, as well as like, okay, so complete sidebar. When I get a head cold that involves like a bunch of congestion, what usually happens is my left ear gets hella blocked with earwax. I'm deaf in my right ear, so that is deeply frustrating. Yeah.
In my head, because we're facing each other, I was trying to do the math on which ear was which.
Yeah. So it basically renders me almost entirely deaf when that gets blocked up. And that happened yesterday because it was just like there was still enough just lingering in my head and then it just sealed up. So part of today was going to an ear clinic and spending $110 to get it microsuctioned, which, if you've ever experienced the before and after of that, it's a fucking relief. Yeah, it's been a weird day. I woke up not hearing shit, and then now it's like, ooh, look at all the sound that I've got.
Obviously not to the same degree, but as someone who also grew up with hearing issues, yeah, the good old ear clean.
Yeah, so good.
They get in there with the little pick.
Oh no, this is like, it's like this little metal fucking, it looks like a thick syringe, but it's like a little vacuum. They just pull it all out. So good.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so
the human body is fucking disgusting. I love it.
Yeah. But now I know a new trick to kind of not like almost prevent that issue, which is like she told me like every 1 to 2 months, just put a drop or 2 of olive oil in your ear and it will just like soften the earwax and it will help it because it will just naturally push it out. But the olive oil will actually help break it down.
Ear cleaning with Error Code Blueberry.
Yeah.
Hearing health with Error Code Blueberry.
That's why I wear these and not in-ears.
Ortisol.
Yeah, there's all sorts of products.
Just once a month.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's been a weird day. I went from like tattoo consultation across town to the ear thing, then to a property inspection. So it's
learn how to marinate your eardrum.
Don't do that, actually. Please, for the love of God, look after your ears. Buy some good
Some
earplugs.
garlic olive oil in my ears.
We got a jar of garlic aioli in the fridge. Maybe that'll work.
some of my chili infused olive oil in my ear.
Okay, this is taking a turn that I don't like. But yeah, so that is...
We play Destiny.
So that is basically why I don't think we're going to get to play any Destiny today. It's like, it is now almost 5 p.m. I've got to edit this today because it goes out tomorrow morning, but I will be on the road very early tomorrow morning, so I'm going to have to go to sleep early tonight. Yeah, out of time.
I think last time we caught up about Iron Better, if it wasn't for those dailies, I would have been done day of reset.
Yeah.
I had everything done by Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So
I don't mind them doing that daily quest structure because it forces people to like keep playing it so that there are people to play against.
Bungie, let me do it all in one day.
Well,
give me the 8 in one day.
We'll get to it, but they are making a change like that in the next episode, if you haven't heard. But yeah, I'll dip my toe in some Iron Banner before reset. I'll commit to that. I doubt I will.
Let me know.
Yeah,
I'll join.
I doubt I'm going to guild anything. I think I got Iron Lord once, and it was a bunch of work getting it that first time.
The only reason I've committed to Iron Lord is because I'm not a PvP player, and the first time I guilded Iron Lord, you guys were like, "What the fuck?"
It was very funny that first time.
Huh?
Just like, because you hadn't even told anyone you were going to go for it. It was just like, bing, what the fuck are you up to?
Yeah, because unless I'm playing with friends, I turn my Steam profile, I turn it all to offline, so I don't appear in game.
Yeah.
So quite often I'm playing Destiny and people don't know I'm playing Destiny. So sometimes when I do this shit, it's really funny because it looks like I haven't played in a week.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't at all. It's the funny thing of they did the 3 weeks of story and then 2 weeks of Iron Banner and then we go back to the story stuff. It is almost like a free pass to just check out a bit. I kind of have done most of what I wanted to in those first few weeks, and then it's like, I haven't played PvP in fucking months, and I'll dabble in some Iron Banner, like I said. But I just, don't have the same pull towards it. Maybe I should, because I am on that pinnacle grind again. But also I don't need to play Crucible for that, because they're all sort of merged into the one reward structure now.
One accidental thing that happened while I was playing a shitload of Iron Banner is I'm now up to 2k.
Hell yeah.
My power level.
Yeah.
It accidentally dragged me up.
Yeah, because all of those Iron Banner challenges give you pinnacles, right? Or they used to, at least.
So I looked over at Dim and I was like, oh fuck, I'm already at...
That number starts with a 2.
I'm at 2k. I'm almost ready for dual destinies.
Oh, you are. You didn't need to hit 2k to be ready for that, but it will certainly help.
Yeah. So might have to give that a crack when we've both got some time.
That's it. Yeah.
I still haven't had it spoiled for me. I'm doing really, really well.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's not it's not, now that we're past the week it came out, no one's really talking about it in that kind of way.
But good. YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and stuff has occasionally spoiled things for me just by accident.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Mylin. Doesn't give any warning, just goes straight in, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm on, as you've seen by the reels I've been sending you, I'm very much on Destiny Instagram algorithm right now, and I would Destiny Instagram and mythical reel pulls, which are those really weird videos where there's
those.
There's 12 likes and it's just some old guy screaming at the camera, or some woman talking about oil pulling and stuff.
And for some reason, there's enough people ending up in that same pocket of Instagram that you get towards the end of it and the first comment that pops up is mythical reel pull, and you're like, oh, my people, they're here.
Yeah. And I just send it in silence to you and Alex and just leave the chat.
Yeah.
Just back to back cursed.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's talk about this developer stream. You have dropped a ton of notes, so why don't you run through this? Because I watched it, but it's been a few days. I've kind of forgotten the overall thing.
The funny thing about this is, I said to you, I'm not going to watch it the day it come help. I'm not going to watch it the day it comes out. I'm going to watch it while I'm getting ready to record.
Right.
And then we didn't end up.
Yeah, we had to
I've
reschedule.
forgotten most of it.
Yeah, but you wrote all the notes.
Yeah. So yeah, we got the VDoc or the developer stream.
Developer gameplay preview is what they called it.
Dev Prev, I don't know.
Depro, I don't know. Fucking the
Dev Prev.
The fucking video.
So our 3 guests this week, I forgot to get the host's name and I keep forgetting, but he's fun and I enjoy his presence.
Andy something?
Yeah, I think so.
God.
He's fun. I enjoy his presence.
I will say in this one in particular, he has, and this is not a dig, it's just a thing I noticed. He has a, like, the way that people say like, he says, go ahead. Like, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. And there was a couple of times he like said it in the same sentence, like, we'll go ahead and go ahead. It's like, okay, I have
go ahead and tell us about it.
I get it because he's like, they're doing these live. So like, you are just getting their natural speech patterns. It's not edited and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But it, like, for some reason in this one, it caught me. And then I was thinking back to all the previous ones. I was like, oh yeah, he does kind of have that pattern.
Just a delight.
Yeah, no, he's very lovely.
So guests this week or presenters this week were Alison Lurs, who is a narrative director, Ryan Harris, who is the senior activity designer. I think we've seen him a couple of times now.
Maybe. I don't actually think we have.
And I know we've seen Chris Proctor a couple of times now too, because he used to be a weapons lead and now he's a design lead. Yeah. So, and his delightful, I cannot tell if he's Australian or South African.
I was actually thinking he was from Aotearoa, New Zealand, potentially.
Maybe. He's got this weird...
There were a couple, like, there's been a couple of, like, old, like, OG Bungie folks from New Zealand. In fact, someone, when I was quite young, in, like, the first town I lived in was, like, 5,000 people, someone at my school was like, oh yeah, my uncle works at Bungie, and that was not a lie. That was not like my uncle works at Nintendo.
It's not my dad is Mr. Nintendo.
But this was like OG Halo shit. And then I was playing Halo and I saw the surname and I was like, holy shit, that kid wasn't lying.
He wasn't telling me about the secret Bowser room.
Yeah, but it was also someone who showed up on one of the Bungie videos. I was like, that is my accent. What are you doing?
He's got like, I'm having a lot of trouble pinning his accent down.
I think it's someone it's someone from the side of the world who's lived in the US for long enough.
Yeah, like he's like, what do they call it? Like naturalizing?
Naturalized?
And someone. Yeah, that's it. Pasteurizing?
Yeah, my uncle who lived in Canada for a bit before going back to Aotearoa, like he refers to it as a mongrel accent, talking about himself.
Yeah. It's a little bit like mine. Mine's all over the place. Yeah. Some days I sound English, like
yeah. Sometimes you're off.
Off.
No.
I say Kier with a hard R. Bad sentence. Kier with a hard R. But yeah, I just could. His accent was bothering me the entire video because I'm like, where the fuck are you from?
It sounds familiar until he says certain things, and you're like, wait, what is that?
You ain't from these parts. Yeah, so they're back. They're great. Love them.
Yeah.
So we got to get to know Alison a little bit, and I think they're adorable. And I want to listen to them.
Very like passionate about the work they're doing with the narrative at the moment.
I would listen to them present a Bife-length video about narrative. Yeah. Because I love them. So basically, she didn't give too much of the narrative away. Obvi.
She did like clarify some things with like the choice of words. I thought was really interesting because like she was like confirming things that weren't said explicitly in the game. I was like, oh yeah, like that's kind of what I thought, but the game didn't really say it that plainly.
Yeah. So one thing she pointed out was like our encounter with Saint at the end of the season was less of like Saint being possessed, and he was actually being more or less interrogated by the conductor.
Yeah.
And it was more the conductor was asking him, are you real? It wasn't Saint questioning whether he was real. It was more the conductor being like, "But are you real though? Like, are you the real Saint? Like, what are you?" And planting that doubt in Saint's head.
Yeah.
So that's left a lot of like existential crises for Saint, where he is battling with, is he the Saint that went into the network? Is he the Saint that went into the timeline? Like,
Yeah.
is he like or is he another? He's like, I'm numbers, as in like. So that's really interesting. We're going to see Saint battle with his humanity a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting kind of existential crisis to put on an exo.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
A guardian and an exo, that is like a really interesting crisis to put on that kind of character, because for me, you've really got to boil down humanity to a certain perspective.
Well, I also think too, like by the time you get to as an XO 14, you have probably started to grapple with the concept of like death and coming back as a guardian, but also like the way that your XO stuff kind of reboots and changes your memories and the stuff as some of the lore has taught us. So the fact that this has like kind of cracked all of that open again is pretty interesting.
Yeah, like what makes Saint, and also his humanity at the end of the day. And like that kind of existential dread of him being not only an exo but a guardian with a ghost, and his partner being Osiris, who is a human who's obviously on a timer.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's lost his ghost. So that's going to be really interesting to play out, and I am still so scared because the way they are building Osiris and Saint up and giving them like a happy ending. I know, Bungie, they are going to rip that away from us. Ooh, they did it with Anna and Red.
They did it a bit with Amanda.
Do not touch my dads. You leave my dads alone.
Fucking let someone get their happy
ending. This is not Game of Thrones. Someone can be happy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes, we're in the optimistic beginning of a story arc. Please let us have this.
So anxious. Yeah. Every time they give us a happy cutscene, I get so like up in my feels for them, and I'm like, I love them. I love my gay space dads. And then I'm like, Bungie, don't you fucking dare.
Don't you come for them. If you come for them, it's a hate crime. How about that? Just saying.
What's that slogan in Hollywood at the moment? No more dead queers, because they use queers as like a plot point now.
Yeah.
And they did it with Amanda and Crow, and even though I don't like Crow, that tilted me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just preparing my heart for whatever they have planned at the end of this, because it's not going to be easy. Or they go, haha, joke's on you. Actually, they do get a happy ending. Get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that kind of like meta narrative of like you are correct and fair to be thinking that could happen.
Everyone's on that knife edge,
and they have to know that. They have to know what they're doing.
Everyone's invested in the two of them, and they're like,
I'm gonna pull this rug.
So that's got me really kind of like, huh. Like, other than the conductor stuff that we spoke about last episode, I'm like watching how they unpack this through Saint and Osiris. I'm really interested to see how they unpack this.
Yeah.
Another big thing is the Fallen are now on Nessus.
Yeah.
They're also seeking out the anomaly.
Well, and now here's the point where, like, again, like them being more clear in this video about certain lore things. The anomaly they refer to as an echo, and they say
as an echo.
That's like the first time they have joined those dots, I think, of like what is echoes referring to.
It is the witness, and not the witness as the collective, the witness as an individual. Its memories and its experiences and its darkness colliding with the light.
Yeah, I think the way Ellison explained it is like the energy that was like released from destroying the witness, that darkness energy has collided with the light and then burst out.
we sent a beam of light through our ghost
Yeah.
straight into it. So it's like it's a cataclysm.
Yeah.
Just two opposing forces meeting.
Yeah. But like that kind of like them describing that interaction of the two energies and these things coming out, calling them echoes. That's what I meant when I said like they are being more clear here in terms of like referring to things by names and talking clearly about what happened as opposed to like hiding it in lore and cutscenes and things like that.
We've got another proper noun. Yes.
I love it. Yeah. But it's like what they name a season or an episode has always been really interesting to me of because they release the names of them ahead of when they come out and it's always like, well, what is it referring to? Revenant, we're pretty sure, like that's clear. And what's the third one? That's the hive-centered one. I forget. Heresy.
Heresy.
Yeah, and like that.
I nearly
that
said
one,
hierarchy.
That one makes a lot of sense. But when this one was called Echoes, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is this? Yeah. But now we know.
Yeah, which is appreciated. I wanted to take more notes, but I was just so enamored with the way that she spoke about the narrative, and I was like, she's great. I love her. Fallen on Nessus. Fallen landed on Nessus. We don't really know which house the Fallen are with yet. They didn't say. The host asked, and I noticed Allison kind of like didn't answer. She spoke around the answer, and I was like, okay. Even the Fallen are like, hey, what are the Vex doing?
Yeah, but also she was
she mentioned she was like
she referenced that power vacuum and like maybe they're also here for this echo as opposed to like them going after the Vex per se.
But she's like, yeah, so they're here. They know the echo's here. They're seeking it out too. But the Fallen Elixni are kind of like, the fuck are the Vex doing?
Fair question. We're all
and
thinking
she's
it.
Like, and as these weeks go on in part 2, we're going to start to see the Vex's behavior a little bit more aggressively. She's like, if you guys have been paying attention, every now and then a Vex will wave at you. And I was like, I have not noticed that yet.
What?
Yeah. She mentioned, she's like, if you're paying enough attention, sometimes the Vex will like...
I need to go play more of the seasonal activity, I think.
Yeah.
I have not seen that at all.
She mentioned it and I was like, that's too cute. I don't like that because I don't like the Vex. So with this new, which is something I'm excited about, we're getting new battlegrounds.
Hell yeah. And I love what they're doing with these.
Yes. So the battlegrounds are going to be more, the first one starts in the emptied out cistern.
Yes.
And what they've described is these battlegrounds 1, 2, and 3 will chain together.
Yeah.
So they tell a story when you chain them together. Battlegrounds 1 is kind of figuring out where the drained Radioloria is going. Number 2 is following the path of the Radioloria once we find it. And then apparently number 3 is actually taking us into Nessus.
Yeah,
Nessus.
They said the phrase like journey to the center of Nessus, I think, a couple of times. I'm like, uh-oh, what's happening in there?
So this is where this hidden civilization might be coming into play that we've seen.
It's like a buried city kind of idea, right?
Yeah, we've seen like bits and pieces of. So as I mentioned, they're linked. So 2 will start where 1 ends, 3 will start where 2 ends. Yeah. You can play them individually or you can opt to play them through.
But they're not all coming out at the same time, right?
I think 1 and 2 are, okay. And then 3 comes out the following week from memory.
Okay.
So these battlegrounds are going to be harder. There's going to be larger waves because one thing the design lead, activity lead, Ryan, said was he wanted all of the people in the party to feel like they're doing something because sometimes the waves are too small and what can happen is you end up with just one person doing all the ad clear, charging ahead, doing all the ad clear.
Someone drops an ability and it just happens to clear it all out anyway.
Yeah. He said he wanted everyone to feel like they're doing something. So the waves are larger. He said some of these waves are going to be 40 enemies deep.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Upgraded known enemy types, and one thing he told us was they've given wyverns the ability to teleport.
Yes. And I'm assuming these are like the choral like versions of the Vex.
Yeah.
Like
my
wyverns are
wording.
already bad, dude. We don't. Come
The
on.
chickens, they gave wyverns the ability to teleport, and then the mad lads in my notes.
Yeah.
Part of going through these battlegrounds is they gave us little bits and pieces, but the conversation very quickly became, hey, what are these weapons? So they gave us weapon previews.
Mm-hmm.
First one I'm excited about because aberrant action is a solar rocket assisted sidearm.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, I love these rocket assisted sidearms. The call is my current MVP, I think, out of this
I still use
expansion.
the shit out of the call for my strand build.
Yeah, it's great.
Um,
A solar one,
but
great.
that's gonna slot in very nicely to my support lock.
Oh yeah.
I need something with a big hit that's gonna feed back into my abilities.
If it's anything like the call, it'll be great.
That isn't gonna eat an exotic slot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because sometimes I don't want to use Sunshot.
Because I think they were talking about it, like, obviously it's a solar weapon, so this doesn't surprise me that much. It will can drop with incandescent, and getting that, like, that explosion or whatever that it triggers, like, you can use that to refill your abilities, and that's largely what my current solar build does, and it's very fucking good.
That's what my support lock depends on, and the only thing I have right now that does that is Sunshot. I don't always want to use that.
Yeah, I've got like maybe an SMG and an auto rifle that also have incandescent on it, and that's pretty. Actually, the current like ritual pursuit weapon is an SMG with incandescent, and it's pretty good actually. You probably have it through the amount of Crucible you've been playing. You could just go talk to Shax and maybe just get it.
Yeah, well, I got Valor overflowing, so
okay, you probably have it, dude.
Capped out on engrams with him too.
Yeah, you should go talk to Shax. He could probably give you a good SMG with incandescent.
Talking to Shax is always a good time.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Aberrant Action though.
Yes.
That sounds like mad fun, and I can see how it's going to slot into my support lock build, but then also my Daybreak build.
Yeah.
Second one, Corajon.
I don't know.
Arc Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle.
I'm interested.
And as someone's currently trying to build an arc build with an inappropriate name. My arc build has basically become my carpet bombing build.
No. I wasn't sure which direction that was going to go. Oh,
it's
okay.
With all the Storm Tracer stuff and like the arc slide to the power drop and my my storm grenades.
You gotta get one of those.
Couldn't think of any other way to describe it. Yeah. I am carpet bombing ads.
Get like Thunderlord in there, or like get an Ergo Sum drop with the Cloud Strike perk on it. Lightning Sword.
I already have that.
Silly.
I already have it. And then the third one is Perfect Paradox is returning, which is a very Saint.
It is, yeah. It's his shotgun, right?
It's his shotgun, and it is a rapid fire frame shotgun. With a new origin trait, which is called Cast No Shadows. Which
new?
is
I thought you can already get weapons with that. I thought it was like recently.
I think it's new to the shotgun.
Sure, yeah.
But they kept driving home that it's very good for melee focused builds.
Yeah, they talked about it with 1-2 punch and things like that, which is always good on a shotgun.
Which is just tight. Like Titans everywhere started to foam at the mouth.
Oh yeah, that's me. I love that kind of shit.
Titans everywhere cranking their hog. We're also getting new seasonal artifact mods.
Yeah, like a whole row is getting unlocked.
Another row.
Yeah.
So this new row is going to focus on solar and sniper.
Yeah. It's like, great, I don't really run snipers much at all, so maybe I will. I don't know.
I'm working on a long range prismatic build at the moment, and I've been playing with different snipers, so.
Okay.
So we've got anti-barrier sniper now, which is nice.
Yeah, so a thing about solar is that if you get Radiant, all your weapons become anti-barrier.
Yeah.
So I already have an anti-barrier sniper rifle. It's called Xenophage.
True.
Yeah, that's
True.
real satisfying.
But I mean, like, if you don't want to go with
No,
that,
yeah,
an
it's
anti-barrier
yeah,
sniper is really good for like GMs and shit
yeah,
because you can
100%.
just stay back.
Yeah,
Which is why I take Xeno into GMs because it allows me to like stay back, and then I've got that massive extended mag.
mm,
And then I just put scavengers and finders out the wazoo, so I've always got heavy.
yeah.
Second one is incendiary sniper rifle rounds. That's nice.
Make them explode even more. Why not do that?
Make people pop and then make the people around them also pop.
Yeah.
And then there's a third artifact mod type, which is ignition does greater damage in a larger radius.
Yeah. Yeah. Some interesting stuff in there.
Well, that's going to go nutty on my support lock build. Because the biggest thing about my support lock build is at the moment the damage output is not great because I'm so focused on healing.
Yeah. I mean,
Healing, shielding, and radiance.
Yeah. It would feel like I feel like in that case it's better to pick one of the two. Because like trying to do both, I feel like you're not going to do either as well as you want.
But with all these incendiary and ignition based stuff coming out and these solar snipers and everything like that, it's gonna make it easier for me to hang back to
true.
heal and stuff, but then also get that ignition or incendiary chain going that's
Sure.
gonna feed back into my grenade, because my grenade is, I've got the when I put on the speaker helmet that I keep fucking forgetting the name of, my healing grenade also becomes a turret that spits out seekers that also heal.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for every way possible, and ignition and stuff is a really good way to kickstart grenade energy feeding. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be really good in my support build.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be able to, if I can figure it out, which I will, it's pretty simple, but if I can kickstart that cycle, I'm just going to keep getting grenade energy back, which means
more turrets.
More turrets, but then other than wells, you guys also have more heals. And then I've got the healing auto rifle.
Yeah,
because I'm sick of Sunshot.
Hey, Sunshot's still good.
I've kind of been playing with Lumina a little bit, but I still don't like it.
Yeah, I feel like those the healing auto rifles are just a little bit more versatile than Lumina is.
But yeah, I'm actually very excited for the coming week's drops. Deadman's is also getting a 30% buff for PvE.
I think they also said like all Tech's Machina frame stuff is getting a bit of a boost.
Yeah.
But
they said
I'm
PvP it goes off,
it.
but PvE they said that the damage felt a little underwhelming.
Yeah, because I remember when Deadman's first dropped and it was a cannon and it had a much higher like hip fire rate than it does. They've tuned it down since then, but I remember really enjoying the shit out of it in PvE because you could just like snap headshots and you build up cranial spike and you're just like ramming rounds back into that gun and then you're just like
it went nutty.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice to have that back because Deadman's is also a very good thing to have in a solo build.
Yeah.
And Ariana's Vow is getting a buff against shielded enemy as well.
Yeah.
Well, shield types as well. So that'll be nice because it and I agree with them when it comes to the shield piercing bows. Everything else felt like it was doing a lot more. And Ariana's felt like it was falling behind. So they said they saw it pretty much fall out of the meta because it just wasn't doing the same as other bows.
It's not a bow, dude. It's a hand cannon.
Oh, hand cannon. Oh
yeah.
my God. Why I thought it was a bow. I don't know why I had bows on the brain.
I mean, it kind of.
I was thinking about Tikus.
It sounds like it would be a bow.
I was thinking about Tikus in the solo build. But yeah, so they saw it fall out of the meta.
Yeah.
So they're giving that a little bit of a kick up the bum.
Hell yeah. I don't think I've ever actually used Ariana's, but I'm excited for Deadman's to come back.
Clearly, I haven't either. If I thought it was a bow.
Ariana's bow, bow. No, hand cannon.
Wow. It's a hand cannon.
Yeah.
I knew it was a hand cannon. I don't know why it kept saying bow.
Hey, we figured it out.
Yeah, we got there.
Yeah.
And then the final thing is they gave us a little bit of a peek at the Solstice armor.
Yeah, some
Or
cheeky,
Solstice ornaments, I suppose.
cheeky little concept art.
Yeah, it's very like not quite steampunk, but that kind of energy.
Yeah, it's a lot of like leather looking material and fucking harnesses and straps and shit.
You know what it reminds me of? The movie Treasure Planet,
Never seen it.
where it's like old timey, but also technology is integrated into it, but not in the same way that steampunk does it.
But is it similar to like the sort of retro futurism of Fallout?
No.
No. Okay.
Less dystopian.
I'm just meaning more. It was like they took the 1950s and added nuclear power and brought everything into the future.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's based in space.
Okay.
You should watch it. It was a flop, but it's actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got like that kind of old-timey adventurer fucking balloon journey to the center of the earth kind of Jules Verne energy about it.
Sure.
But with the Destiny LED flare, you know?
Yeah.
Roy G. Biv flare.
Yeah. Hey, note to edit a chillybin in about 30 minutes. Remember to put the art here in the video. And if I don't, and you're watching this, sorry, I'm busy. I forget sometimes.
Here's the Warlock art.
Don't make it that specific. I'm just gonna try to remember, and hopefully I talk about this long enough right now that when I'm editing it, I will hear it and be like, oh yeah, I should do that.
So Warlock gets cool pants.
They all get cool pants. Are you kidding? Look at them.
Cool drop crotch pants.
Everybody's getting pants this solstice.
Yeah.
It's what we've wanted this whole time is pants.
Warlocks are just running around cheeks out.
That's why they have the long robes, is to hide the lack of pants.
Sorry, they didn't give me pants.
Like I mean,
to be fair, when we look at it, the Warlocks get leggings more than
that is actually a very good point. But I still love the 30th anniversary Titan armor set that gave you like the camo pants with the like combat boots essentially.
I still swear to this day, in those 30, love you Bungie designers, but you fucked the Warlocks so hard in that release.
I don't even remember what the Warlocks look like in that one.
We got that goofy ass fucking balaclava with like a Freddy mask and
That's
then
right.
sunnies.
Yeah.
The fuck was that, Bungie? Huh?
Titans and Hunters eating good that release.
Hunters getting cute beanies
Streetwear,
and shit.
Yeah.
You guys got the punk jacket. This goofy ass fucking schemer. I have a vendetta against whoever designed that. No, everyone's eating good this drop. And usually in Solstice, Warlocks get fucked pretty hard. So I'm actually really happy.
Yeah,
I'm not happy about the shin guards. Because are you gonna go play football after this?
Yeah. I mean, usually in Solstice, Titans get like this weird mix of like filigree and old timey armor looking shit, and I've never really fucked with it that hard. This looks dope as hell.
You'll get like the sexy little like side satchel
and
with
like a
the
big
leg
fucking
strap.
visor joint across the head. So satisfying.
That helmet reminds me of something that's already in Destiny.
Scion or like some cyberpunk shit.
It also kind of reminds me of like...
Oh, it's a Vex. It's a fucking... There is already an ornament from Vault of Glass.
But also the shape of it, I can't think if it's the Red Jacks or if it's Old Mate. There is a robot with a head like that.
Okay.
Somewhere. Bugging me.
I don't doubt it.
You guys get sick, like...
Big booties with like little booster rockets on the bottom, it looks like.
Hell yeah.
And
knee pads.
I should stress, this is all concept art. It could still change a bit before we get it.
It could still change. You'll get the dad cargo.
Oh, yeah.
And then the hunters look pretty sick too. They got like almost like pilot helmets on.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then their like little cape is actually like it looks like it's meant to be a scarf instead.
Hmm.
Cool boots. Looks like riding pants, like horse riding pants.
Yeah, they would be into horses.
It's pretty sick, and I can't wait to collect it all just to put super black on it.
See, now here's the thing. I don't think super black looks good on everything.
It does. You're living a lie.
No, I put it on some stuff recently. I was like, I'm losing a lot of the definition and I can't tell what is what in this look.
Exactly. I want to be a threat. It's just a black blob and warm.
Just shadows everywhere.
I want to look like when you get too close, I have an ominous hum.
Okay. Yeah.
I put a build together and I'm like, super black.
I always check if it would make it look better. And sometimes I'm like, no, I just want to be able to see more of it though.
The only thing I haven't put super black on is that speaker themed helmet that I keep forgetting the name of.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the original design looks sick.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, Solstice armor, it looks sick. I think for once we all got treated pretty well.
Yeah. They did say nothing about the Solstice activity, so I can only assume it is still the same.
That's bonfires again, isn't it?
Yes.
Love me bonfires.
But I wonder if they will do something different, because Solstice usually has been like a chance to celebrate, come together, talk about success and achievement. And we've achieved a lot since the last Solstice. So maybe,
yeah, post-witness.
Yeah. Maybe Solstice happens inside the Traveler this time. That'd be interesting.
Like a new map. That'd be nice.
Instead of the fucking aerial zone, whatever it is.
The EDZ.
No, it's the EAZ, remember?
EAZ.
The European Aerial Zone, which is just the EDZ, but in the air. They just lift it up. I don't know what's happening.
Gravity.
How have you done this?
Magnets, how do they work?
It probably is magnets, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel like Solstice might be the last activity that hasn't had a big change.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Or a noticeable change.
Yeah, I mean, Dawning's also similar. Like, it's you make cookies and shit.
Yeah, but like, what else could you do with Dawning? But didn't a while ago now, Festival of the Lost changed, like the gameplay type changed.
Oh yeah, they did. So they had the Haunted Forest, and that was going through the Infinite Forest. You had to go through a certain amount of like waves or branches of it. That was
like a snaking.
Yeah, and then they went to Haunted Lost sectors, and that's still what we do for it, right? That's what the last one was anyway.
Yeah. So I think it's one of the few that's left to go through a change.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the context of everything that's happened in game, they could safely just give it a big revamp.
Yeah.
Maybe that's obviously resources permitting.
Maybe that's why they said nothing about it, is because they want to do a more like meaty drop about the activity itself.
Yeah, like a dedicated TWAB or something in a week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited just based off the armor. Like, I'm going to grind it out just for those armor pieces.
There's one crucial thing that... Oh, it is in the notes. It's just above all the stuff you put in there. So they talked about releasing story.
Yeah, the release cycle.
Different cadence. And this, it doesn't start till next episode, right? Or is it starting with this coming act?
I think it starts next episode.
Yeah.
Because Allison and the host kept accidentally saying act instead of episode.
Yeah. So,
and then they caught themselves saying it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Destiny 2 team put out a tweet on the 10th of July saying for our next episode, Revenant, each act's entire story will be available to play as it launches instead of week to week.
Yeah. So we're getting a month of content just instantly.
Rather
than it being week to week.
Yeah, 3 weeks of story all at once.
So you could drag it out if you wanted to.
Well, that's
or you can just smash it out.
Yeah, they go on to say our goal is to give players an opportunity to play at their own pace. We'll be monitoring feedback, blah, blah, blah. So this is going to be super interesting from like a community sentiment point. Because there are, I guess I'd call them no-lifers, that will burn through the content on a release on day one and then complain that there's nothing to do. It's like, okay, well, here, you get what you want. You get like the chunk all at once. Go and do that if you want, I guess. But then if you're still going to complain about it, like, frankly, get fucked. Like, I think this is a
It's
good change. It like lets you do it. You can still choose to drip feed it for yourself.
I think it's really good that kind of, and this isn't a dig at them, but I think it's really good that the Bungie team are starting to recognize that their community isn't like other MMO or MMORPG. Like their community is not like other MMOs where, like, let's say for Final Fantasy 14 online, for example, it's a constant player base.
Yeah.
They have a player base that ebbs and flows, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, they, like, if we're going to be honest, their player base is also older.
Yeah.
We're a little bit like the World of Warcraft player base, where we do ebb and flow because we have lives.
You say that. I was talking to someone recently.
My knees hurt.
I was talking to someone recently who plays both Destiny and WoW, and we talk about raids and stuff like that. And I've never played WoW, so I have no context for this. But he was like, yeah, like when a new WoW raid drops, it will take a team a week to beat it. I fucking lost my mind thinking about the contrast between that and Destiny raid releases.
Yeah.
And that's a game that's been around for longer. So, yeah, there's parts of that I think ring true, but like, yeah.
Their player base definitely ebbs and flows like Destiny's.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, and there's different like multiplayer online games that I've noticed have a constant player base. Like I said, Final Fantasy 14, it is constant pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to, especially now that the big story is done, that they can say to their player base, like, yeah, come back whenever you want.
Yeah.
Smash it all out in a day if you want. Smash it all out in a month. Do what you want. But like, we're going to give you that malleability to come and go.
Yeah. So I think this is a good change just for like accessibility of the content that they're putting out, of like, hey, maybe you don't have the time to check in every week, but you do have time to kind of like blast through it all at once because you, I don't know, like have a weird work schedule. Who knows? But they were pretty clear in the live stream to like refer to this as an experiment. It's not going to be like the thing going forward, but they're like, look, we're going to try it. We're going to see how the feedback shifts.
And that's it too. Like, there's definitely, and you can probably relate a little bit, there's definitely weeks where you're kind of scrambling to get the content done just so we can, not so we can do an episode, but just to get it done so that you don't get it spoiled. And then also you're itching for the next part. I know with the expansion and now with this, because I'm so invested in Saint 14.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of my favorite NPCs. I'm like itching week to week to play the story to see what's happening. And then the conductor is also, as a lore nerd, driving me nuts. I want to find out what it is or who it is and what it's up to.
Yep.
So sometimes, like on a Wednesday or Wednesdays for us, I'm coming home from work and I've got to force myself to play, which isn't amazing to do. Or there are days where I just don't have the time to play the story.
Yeah. The thing that's going to be, I think, the most interesting to me is how this change affects the like cottage industry of lore enthusiasts, because people are very careful about like spoiler content and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, you could legitimately in 1 week talk about 3 weeks of story content, and then, I mean, I guess you would have nothing from that to talk about for the next 2 weeks, and you have to go find other stuff. Like spoiler management, if that's something that you care about, will be different, because there could just be that content out there of people just like showing everything.
Yeah. See, for me, I would probably, like, if I was making, and to a degree we talk about lore here too, but for me, if I was a Bife or a Myelin or like a Divide or someone like that, I would still probably break the content down into those chunks, but get it all played at once so that I know, let's say, quote unquote, week 1, part 1, let's say, break that off, do a whole bunch of lore research so that the video that I put out is informative and it has the lore beats and the information behind it to back what's happening in the narrative.
Mhm.
Logically, that's how I would do it personally. So there is some flexibility around that. You could still release it week to week, but the videos would be a lot more in depth and meaty
Yeah, but also
because you're not.
at the same time, you're only talking about 3 weeks worth of story. Like it's
Yeah.
an act at a time. It's not the whole episode all at once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
it's
it's
not too
like
bad, I guess.
it's not too bad. You could still break it up into 3 videos and then just have beefier, more lore heavy
Well,
or information heavy.
the other thing it would allow you to do is say play all 3 weeks, and then when you put your story together for the first week, you can like foreshadow stuff that you know is going to happen
Yeah.
1 or 2 weeks later, and then have that be maybe a more interesting hook into the way that you're talking about the story.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if people start doing that, because currently it's like, oh, I can talk about this because it happened this week, but then here's a bunch of speculation because there's a bunch of open threads as a result.
Yeah. See, that's one thing. It's like finishing the story, and then if I've got the time or while I'm getting ready to record an episode of this, I'll usually chuck on like Bife's video or Mylin's video going over the narrative for that week or that story beat for that week. So I'm also very interested to see how lore enthusiasts, like content creators, kind of.
I mean, we'll have to sort of come up with how
We'll have to
you and
figure
I are
that
going
out,
to
yeah.
approach it, so that we're talking about the same things when we go to do an episode.
We're not like accidentally spoiling it for each other.
Yeah, we might have to I don't know, keep separate notes just in case we're like at different speeds with it. We'll figure it out. But that's not till next episode anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we got like in weeks to kind of talk about it,
yeah,
not quote unquote plan it, but figure out how we want to approach it.
Yeah.
And who knows, it's an experiment. It might happen one off. Everyone might love it and it might start to happen. And obviously the way we do things would grow with that. Yeah.
We'll see.
It's interesting.
Next episode.
I'm glad they're listening and I'm glad they're trying things.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of companies this late in the game are afraid to switch things up.
Yeah, it is kind of
especially with a new product. Like when you think about the way that they're delivering story now, it's a different product from
that's
what they used to do in a way.
It is almost refreshing because the Light and Dark Saga is behind them, so everything now is up for grabs. There's nothing that you can't change because of backwards compatibility or legacy concerns. It's everything now is new. The story is going in a direction we've never gone before.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Give it a shot. Try some shit.
Yeah. New structure, new product.
Yeah. Please don't forget about Onslaught. That activity is fun as shit.
Yeah. I love Onslaught. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm curious, but then also I'm loving this episode, don't get me wrong, but I'm also itching to get to the next episode because of that layout and then because of the Elixir heavy horror movie.
Hey, we've still got 2 more acts of this Saint No Osiris story to get through.
I'm just scared.
Yeah, I know.
Don't touch my dads, please.
And on that note,
let them be happy.
On that note about not touching dads, let's wrap this one up. I was about to say, and go touch our dads. That's weird. This has been an episode of this show, Erico Blueberry. It's annoying that they are referring to these as episodes now because it makes the nomenclature of what we do here very difficult to keep separate. Anyway, thanks.
This has been an episode about an episode on Erico Blueberry.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. This has been a missive about a video game. If you've enjoyed it, hit the buttons, tell the internet that you liked it and that you think it's all right. And then we'll keep doing it, I guess. We'll be back next time with, Act 2 of Echoes to talk about, right? That starts this coming reset. I haven't got that wrong.
Yeah.
That should tell you how little I've played the game in the last week or so, as I don't know when the next act starts. Anyway, we'll catch you on the other side of that with some Solstice and some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ciao.
See ya. Be safe.
Eat some fruit.
Don't forget your 2 and 5. 2 serves of veggie, 2 serves of fruit, 5 serves of vegetables.
Oh, so you're talking about a minivan.
Don't forget your Subaru Samba.
2 in the front, 5 in the back.